Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to Static Screen Episode 5, your weekly dose of movie and TV news by fans for fans. And this week, of course, I am your host, Lord X, and joining me is not ECW James, but that man from Florida. It's Israel Pacheco.
Business is about to pick up. What's up, man? How's it going?
Oh, it's going pretty good. How about yourself?
Oh, really good. This past month has been really good in terms of TVs and movies. So I'm sure we'll get into that shortly.
Oh, indeed we will. And this is your first time on Static Screen. You're usually my co-host over on Glitched Out.
Yeah, it kind of, I guess, switched over this week, but it's cool to try something, a little different. Switch up the pace.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you've got a movie you've been dying to talk about.
Yeah.
Alright, so that brings us into the first segment of the show, and that's our bin watching section. So, why don't you start then?
Before I get into that movie, I want to talk about something else, because if not, I'm never going to talk about it. I'm just going to stick to that movie. But that is The Rock's new show on HBO, Ballers. It premiered last week. There's 2 episodes so far. It's really good, to be honest. It's like a comedy drama show on HBO. The Rock plays a ex-football player who is kind of down on his luck. He's trying to work for a management company and try to manage some of his ex-football co-players and all that, but I'm not even into football, to be honest, but I really enjoy it because The Rock is in it, and there's other actors in it that are enjoyable that you've seen in other movies before. And what's cool is that they actually use the NFL licenses, so they'll have a Miami Dolphins team, for example, because the show's based in Miami, and it's really good, man. I like where it's going. The only issue that I have with it so far is it's only half an hour. It's not an hour-long show, so it kind of always leaves you wanting more. The first episode was a great, what do you call that? First great pilot episode. I just watched the second episode earlier today. Definitely highly recommend it if you guys are, pretty much done with Game of Thrones at this point, which, it ended a few weeks ago, and want some to watch that's on HBO. Check out Ballers. It's a really good show, and being a fan of The Rock, it's great to see him doing a TV show.
Cool.
So yeah, now that we got Ballers out the way, let's just talk about Jurassic World for the next hour. Because I've seen it 3 times. I've seen it twice in movie theaters and another time in between with completely legal means. But yeah, I have to say this is definitely my movie of the year. I'm probably going to see it a 3rd time in theaters sometime this week, to be honest.
Wow, you're turning into me.
Yeah, I'm turning into Lord X right now. I think you usually watch movies that you enjoy multiple times. I rarely do that, but for this movie, it's just kind of very special for me, being a big fan of the Jurassic Park franchise, the first one being my favorite, which is still the best one, I believe, in the series, just because it's hard to recreate that magic from the first movie, and that movie meant so much for the movie industry in terms of scope and special effects, and the combination of CGI and actual animatronics and all that. But what they did with Jurassic World was, in a way, create a sequel that's sort of like a remake in a way. I don't know if you agree with me. It is a continuation of the first movie, but there's a lot of similarities.
Yeah.
To the first movie, but it's cool how they do it. They have a lot of nods, a lot of things that if you're a fan of the original film, a lot of shots in the movie. For example, at the beginning of the Jurassic Park, the original, you see that shot where they're in the desert and they're digging up the dinosaurs, right? And they got like the brushes and they're brushing up the bones. And then there's a shot in Jurassic World of kids doing that inside of what looks like the center of Jurassic World, where you could go and get all the information about the dinosaurs and all that. And then like you go to the computer and there's like Mr. DNA from, from the original. It's just so many nods and, homages to the original movie. And overall, I really enjoyed it. This movie could have turned out terrible, to be honest. I do have some issues with it, mainly being the secondary cast of characters, specifically the children.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't nearly as interesting as like Lex and Tim from Jurassic Park. But I've seen it a few times and they kind of grown on me. But the first time I saw it, I was like, I don't really need these kids here. But Bryce Dallas Howard's performance and Chris Pratt's performance are both really, really excellent. Bryce Dallas Howard, she's basically, I guess you would call her like the supervisor or manager of the park, right? She oversees the park.
Yeah.
That's her role, it's cool how she dresses in all white, like John Hammond dresses in all white. There's, those little nods to the original movie. And then Chris Pratt, he's a ex-military guy who works on the island with, some of the dinosaurs there, and he just plays like a complete badass. I 100% want him to be Indiana Jones, like now, like please, just make him Indiana Jones, like it's gonna work. So yeah, fantastic special effects, very good story. They got some very cool action sequences, they got some comedy in there, they got some, like horror, scary moments, to be honest, because a lot of people forget that Jurassic Park is technically a monster movie, and you could see that a lot with this, especially with the Indominus Rex and how like scary he does look for a dinosaur. But yeah, fantastic movie. If you guys haven't seen Jurassic World, go check it out. It's broken so many records at this point. It's, I believe, the highest grossing movie of the year so far in the U.S.
Yep.
And the highest grossing like first weekend in the U.S. and worldwide, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't they make like over 500 million the first weekend?
Pretty sure, yeah.
So, and don't take that like, oh, this is just another one of those movies like Transformers that makes so much money, but it's, not the greatest movie. Go watch this. It's a very fun movie. It does start off a little slow, but I like the pace of the movie. And then the last like 30 minutes is like,
oh, badass.
It's so good, man. Like it's so good. Like I don't want to go into spoilers because it's a fairly recent movie.
So you know, on the last episode 2 weeks ago, me and James, we actually did go into spoilers.
So. Oh, you did?
So yeah, spoiler bunker up. You can talk about
so yeah, spoiler. So what did you think of like the end with like the Indominus Rex essentially being a Velociraptor fused with a T-Rex?
I thought it was great, dude.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
And especially when, what was her name again? The chick? Claire? Yeah, it was Claire, right?
The one played by Bryce Dallas Howard? Yeah, because on Claire, yeah, I believe it was Claire, yeah.
Yeah, when she opened up the T-Rex pit, that was an awesome moment.
Oh, that was so awesome, man. That was so awesome. You know what's funny? The guy who opened the thing, I kind of think they kind of try to make him like Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum's character in the first movie. There's like little nods to the character. There's like so many things in this movie. Like if you're a fan, you really get like the whole thing of him having the dinosaurs on his desk and talking about chaos and all that, which was a big thing about chaos theory from Jeff Goldblum's character. The second time I saw the movie in theaters, I actually noticed like next to his desk, there's a book with Jeff Goldblum's like face on it, but you can't really see it. But I'm like, wait, is that the book that they referenced that he had written, like, before the Lost World by his experiences on the island. So there's so many little nods that it's so cool. One of my favorite parts of the movie, which I gotta be honest, I teared up, was when the kids were, lost on the island and they find what is essentially the old park.
Mm-hmm.
And they see the door and the steps. I was like, no, you bastards. No, like I was in the theater like, no, don't do it. You did it. You crazy son of a bitch. You did it. And then they walk in and you see like it's all deteriorated and stuff from over like 20 years of being, abandoned. And then you see the banner that fell when dinosaurs ruled the earth at the end of the original Jurassic Park. And it's just so well crafted. Like this movie could have been so bad, but it feels like the people who made this movie are like huge fans of the original. And it looks like they're going to do some sort of sequel.
After making over $1 billion so far, yeah, we're going to get a sequel.
Not only from, its financial success, but the way the story ends with Dr. Wu being taken off the island with all the embryos of the like genetically modified dinosaurs, which look to be, they were trying to create them to make them like military weapons, basically. So it looks like there's going to be a sequel, but I just as a fan, I don't need a sequel. Like this was good enough. Like this is like a once in a lifetime type of thing because there's been so many movies within the last 10 years that have been like remakes or sequels or spin-offs that have been god awful.
Yep.
And this was just like really, really good. Like it isn't as good as the original, but it's because of the time and place. Like watching that one in the early 90s was like, it blew everybody's minds. But this one still has some great stuff in it though. Like we were talking about the Indominus Rex, like the T-Rex scene when he comes out the paddock and then fights the Indominus Rex and the raptor helps him out, and then like the what's the sea dinosaur?
I can't remember now. Let's just call him Free Willy.
Oh yeah. The Mosasaur, that's what it was, Mosasaur. I thought that was a really cool scene. Like, all the things about it being a theme park, like, that scene was, like, straight up SeaWorld. Mm-hmm. Like, when you go to SeaWorld, especially being here from Orlando, like, going to the theme parks and seeing stuff like that, that was definitely SeaWorld there. And then, like, stuff that reminds you of, like, Disney or Universal, parks up and running, like... But overall... It's such a good movie. Like I'll probably go see it again, and like, and I'm watching it in IMAX 3D, so it isn't cheap either. Because it's those tickets are like almost $20 for like IMAX 3D. Mm-hmm. But now, I really enjoyed it.
Since you did say you saw it in IMAX, did you see the AntMan preview?
Oh, that was really good. Like the extended clip that they did at the beginning, right?
Yep.
That was really cool when they had that scene that you've seen in the trailers where he's fighting in prison, and then you find out that it's just like a ritual of him going away. He's not really fighting the guy, so I thought that was a cool spin. I'm definitely going to see that in IMAX 3D now. Definitely. I'll probably go see that. I guess we'll be talking about it later in the show, too. It comes out later in the next few weeks. So.
Yep. Yeah. The best thing with that, when I saw Jurassic World and that preview started up, there were a few people around me. I could overhear them like start up like, yeah, fuck, we gotta sit through this now.
And at the end of it, they were
and they were like, that actually looks pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happened when I went to see it. To be honest, like people were like, "What is this? Oh, another superhero movie?" And like, AntMan, really? And then they saw it. And they're like, "Oh, that looks pretty cool. I want to go see that." That's what I heard people saying, like around me. But
very smart for Marvel and Disney to get that ahead of Jurassic Park or
very
Jurassic
smart,
World.
because like so many people have seen that movie, especially in IMAX 3D. That to see that little spot and definitely get some interested in it. But oh man, Jurassic World, like it could have been so bad. Like it could have been Jurassic Park 3, but luckily it wasn't. I can't wait till it comes out, like on Blu-ray and all that, and watching all the special features and behind the scenes and all that. But
Hmm.
it's just a very fun, movie for the summer, definitely. And definitely a blockbuster, as you would say.
Hmm.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps it up for me. What I've been watching. I can't really think of anything else because Game of Thrones ended like what was it, like 2, 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, and that was crazy. The internet like lost their minds, it
Yeah.
seemed. And I was like, what the hell's going on? And then the next day I watched it because I have like the HBO, what's it called? HBO Now
Hmm.
thing where you don't have to like pay the cable companies or whatever. It's just a la carte essentially.
Hmm.
It's only available like on Apple products right now, but I don't watch it on my iPhone. I just go to the website because I found out that you could just use the same login and watch it on the website. So I was like, okay, cool. And that was pretty crazy. But anyway, I guess we can move on forward to whatever you've been watching this
Uh,
week.
yeah, I haven't really been watching that much, to be honest with you. I watched a couple more episodes of Archer. Uh, Season 6 is just as good as the rest. Uh, and the biggest thing that I watched last week, actually, was I decided to do my usual ritual on my birthday. I go out and watch a Pixar movie because, for whatever reason, they will
Nice.
always release a Pixar movie around the time of my birthday. I don't know why, but there you go. Perfect timing. So I went and saw their new one, Inside Out.
Hmm.
And what people have been saying about that movie is very much true. This is a excellent film by Pixar. It is one of their best in years that they have done.
Hmm.
Uh, as you would expect from a Pixar movie, it is filled to the brim with emotional scenes, uh, given that the movie does focus around emotions in general.
Hmm.
But yeah, really cleverly done. A great story. Just beautiful in so many ways. I absolutely recommend it. I think people should go and see it. Yeah, it's one of their best now in years. So yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of stayed away from Pixar movies lately because they got too emotional, to be honest. Like, once I saw Toy Story 3 and I was like bawling because of the damn toys about to be like burned.
Incinerated.
Yeah, and then what was it? Up, which the first 5 minutes were like the most crushing thing you've ever seen in your damn life. I was like, okay, I'm done with Pixar. Like, I want to watch these. Like, I want to go see Jurassic World and be happy and leave the movie theater like, yes, like this was awesome. I don't want to come out of the theater like, oh, it's so sad. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess my tastes have changed, but I've enjoyed their movies over the years. Like the original Toy Story, of course.
Mhm.
Finding Nemo was good. Wall-E.
Yep.
Um, Never got into Cars. Cars is a Pixar movie, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh, I still think Cars is stupid, but
Yeah, same here. That was like the downfall of Pixar, but they really picked it back up with this one. This is like
Mhm.
true to form for them again.
Okay. I'll probably watch it one day. It's just not high on my priority list. Like
Mhm.
I know when I was a kid, like I was big into everything Disney. Like of course, Pixar being a brand of Disney films, the animated stuff, like
Mhm.
traditional 2D animation. Then the Pixar pretty much took over because we haven't seen. I think the last one was like the Princess and the Frog or whatever that was like 2D animated. Because
Yeah.
everything else has been like either from Pixar or another one of their studios that's been doing the 3D animation. But
Yeah.
I guess I'm just not that into those types of movies anymore as I
Mhm.
was once. But I might check it out one day.
Fair
Who
enough.
knows?
But yeah, anyways, that pretty much does it for me, because mostly I've been playing Batman Arkham Knight for the past week and not watching anything.
Yeah.
So that leads us into our news stories for this week, and we do have quite a few here. So, Izzy, why don't you kick us off and tell us some Marvel news?
So Marvel, which it seems like an eternity for this to happen. It seems like we've been talking about this for like
Oh,
legitimately like 3 or 4 months, right?
oh
Like
yeah.
about what they were going to do with Spider-Man, and they finally come out and announce that they've picked their brand new Spider-Man, and that is going to be Tom Holland. And they've also picked the director, which is going to be John Watts. And yeah, it should be coming out in theaters on July 28th, 2017 in 3D IMAX. Peter Parker's Spider-Man, next film. This is a deal that they struck up, of course, with Sony Pictures for Spider-Man to be in the next Captain America movie, right?
hmm
And yeah, so we finally have the actor who's going to play Spider-Man. I haven't seen any of the movies that he's been in.
He's a
Have you?
relative unknown. No, I haven't.
So I guess they decided to go that route because he is an unknown, and maybe Spider-Man will be the movie that really launches the kid's career.
hmm
And then John Watts, let's see, what has he done? I'm not as familiar with his name. Watts, director.
He's actually, a new filmmaker. Well, not new, but he hasn't
Hmm.
really done anything big.
So another unknown. So way to go, Marvel and Sony, picking some unknown. But I guess they want to,
Hey, it
make
worked.
these
It
make
works
these
for them.
movies for them. Yeah, it
Cause,
has worked in the past for
cause,
stuff that they've done. But
for example, did you know about the Russo brothers before Winter Soldier?
yeah, good point.
And now
Good point.
even like Josh Whedon, the first
hmm
film he did before the Avengers was
The
Serenity.
yeah, the Firefly movie, and he wrote the horrible Alien Resurrection, which I will never forgive him. Um, Not a lot of people know that either. He wrote that terrible movie. Oh my God, that's another story though. But yeah, it makes sense, like what you're saying, that it's worked for them in the past, and it's kind of launched their individual careers.
hmm
Um, so yeah, we'll see. But I know there was like other people in the running for for the role of Spider-Man.
hmm
Some other people like the kid from Ender's Game, right? He's been in
hmm
several movies, and
Yeah,
I guess
Asa
they decided,
Butterfield.
yeah, I guess they decided to go a direction.
hmm
But yeah, at least we finally know who Spider-Man is, and
Yep.
seems like they're going for high school age Spider-Man.
hmm
They're not doing like an adult. So
Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of like they're doing it again. Like
Yeah. And
show me another version of Spider-Man.
and we do have a side story as well here if you want to take that one as well, since it's connected.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't notice that. Put me on the spot, but I see the title here. Spider-Man has been confirmed to appear in Captain America: Civil War, and another side note is that Marvel's still looking for the director of Black Panther, which the Black Panther character has always kind of confused me
hmm How so?
because of the Black Panther Party, like the civil rights movement, and
Oh.
like when this character was this character created after that, like as a was this in the 70s that Black Panther was created? Like I don't really know much about the origin of the character, and whenever I hear Black Panther, I think of the civil rights movement. I don't think of the comic book character. So it kind of always throws me off. So I've
I'm not
never really
sure.
understood the character. I'm
Uh,
looking it up on Wikipedia to see if this was created in like the 70s or something. Oh, it first appeared in 1966, created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Huh.
Well, there goes that theory out the window.
Debuting several years before such early African American heroes as Falcon, Luke Cage, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it looks like it was some, founding of the Black Panther Party. It predates the Black Panther Party. Now that's interesting. That is very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Marvel keeps putting out more comic book movies. I don't know if you saw that tweet that Colin Moriarty put out. He's like, the bottom's not going to fall out or something. And then he had all the movies that are coming out, like the next 3-4 years.
Yeah, some of those release dates are wrong too.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see. At least we know who Spider-Man's going to be. Hopefully this is successful for, Columbia, Sony Pictures.
Mm-hmm. I love how they just casted him, and they're like, okay, get on down here. We need to film Civil War.
Yeah, because they got to film the whatever scenes he has in that movie, which I guess it won't be much since they've been filming Civil War for a few weeks or more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they started.
So we'll see. We'll see when he turns out, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right, so moving on with more Marvel movie news, and that is we have the rumor now that Marvel is currently looking to cast Magnus in Avengers Infinity War. Now, as far as my knowledge goes, I wasn't exactly sure who Magnus was to begin with, but of course the article by Lucy O'Brien on IGN says that Magnus is the villainous alter ego of one Adam Warlock. So yeah, apparently they're looking to cast him in Infinity War Part 1.
So that would be...
Which is interesting because there's rumors going around that Adam Warlock could be in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. His cocoon did show up as an Easter egg type thing in the first movie and in the after credit scene of Thor: The Dark World. So it's possible that this is happening, and if anything, Marvel does need another villain or two, I guess.
This would be the next Avengers movie, right?
Yes.
Infinity War? Okay. It's just kind of... I get lost sometimes. They got so many movies coming out, and it's hard to... the timeline for these, but that'll be cool. I wasn't familiar with the character either. So we'll see how it turns out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I guess that's about it for what we can say about that one. So, we've been both playing a lot of Batman this past week. What's the new Batman rumor?
Ben Affleck. Rumored to be directing now. Ben Affleck is rumored to be directing and starring in some sort of solo Batman film. I guess this would be the next Batman film in the series, taking place after Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which would be cool because I've known he's directed movies in the past. Argo would be what comes to mind, and he won Best Picture for that. And it seems to be the team behind that film, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes sense that they would do a solo Batman film because I don't think they had announced this prior to this rumor coming out because they had announced the movies that they were going to do, like Green Lantern and other things. So I don't know exactly where this is going to fit to the timeline. I guess we'll see once Batman v Superman drops next year and how everything shakes out, but they're targeting a 2018 release date, which is still, 3 years away. It's crazy we're finding out about these movies so ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, given how long it's taking them to make these movies, Batman v Superman was filmed almost a year and a half ago now, and we're still not getting it till next March. So
yeah, I don't know what they're doing. If post-production, all the special effects, they're spending all the time making everything look dark and boring and depressing.
Yeah. Need a year to take out all the color.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do a Zack Snyder's uh, treatment to this, But yeah, that'll be cool to see. But I got to see Batman v Superman first to see what direction they're going with the character before I could get excited about another solo Batman film.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after the last solo Batman film, which I was not a fan of. He's back. Bane is back for your solo Ben Affleck Batman film. But yeah, playing Batman, like I'm like into, the whole character right now. But I think Batman, the Arkham series is better than anything they've done in film, to be honest. And same thing with the animated series. Because being a Batman fan, I don't think they've ever nailed Bruce Wayne on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
They've nailed the characters around him, and they've made everybody around him interesting. But the different versions of Bruce Wayne / Batman have been on screen, like you go back to Michael Keaton. I know a lot of people like him, but I just don't buy it. Mm-hmm. I don't buy Michael Keaton as Batman. Like he's a smaller guy. Like he's not like a muscular guy. Like
he was better than Bat Nipples Clooney, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, that was better. But then you get into Val Kilmer in between. Mm-hmm. Then, George Clooney. Then we got Christian Bale, which I think he did a fine job as Batman. But like, I don't think there's ever been one, to be honest, that has just really encapsulated Batman. It's always been the characters around him that made the movie interesting.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully, Ben Affleck can pull it off. Mm-hmm. I'm rooting for him, to be honest.
Yeah, same here. All right, so that moves us into our next story. A very solemn, sad story in the realm of TV news. And that's that Hannibal has been canceled by NBC. That's right. After this third season, the series is no longer going to be on NBC. There's a chance that it could be picked up, but it's kind of 50-50 right now.
Netflix to the rescue.
I think they've actually said that Netflix might be very unlikely.
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah, so... Yeah, said the show's creator, Brian Fuller, in a statement, NBC has allowed us to craft a television series that no other broadcast network would have dared, and kept us on the air for 3 seasons despite cancellation bear chow ratings and images that would have shredded the eyeballs of lesser standards and practices enforcers, Fuller said in a statement. NBC President John Selk and her team have been fantastic partners and creatively supportive beyond measure. Hannibal is finishing his last course at NBC's table this summer, but a hungry cannibal can always dine again, and personally, I look forward to my next meal with NBC. Yeah, this is sad and makes me hate NBC even more after they canceled Constantine.
Yeah, I hadn't...
NBC, let us have good things, okay? Please.
I hadn't seen this show. With the title, I figured it was based, around the Silence of the Lambs Hannibal universe. I don't know where this takes place in it.
It's kind of separate, and the first 2 seasons were really before Hannibal was, a known serial killer.
Okay. So it's interesting. I haven't watched it, but it sucks that for fans like you that it's getting canceled, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. It's another good TV show going to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was quite tasty.
Hello, NBC. So, moving on into some positive news, and that is...
Yeah!
The Secret Warriors have been confirmed for Marvel's Margels. Who the hell is Margel? Oh, where did that come from? Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 3. So
Woohoo!
looks like Coulson's going to be looking for
Just
some more.
so people know, spoilers here for Season 2 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because we will mention some names here.
So, where the hell my phone go? Season 3, seems like Coulson's going to be looking for a new team to deal with threats, some Inhumans. Because I guess they can't use mutants, but I know the Inhumans are like a separate thing that aren't the X-Men, right?
Mm-hmm. And also getting a movie in 2019.
So are they going to be using the same cast as the television series?
I would say it's going to be different.
Oh, okay.
But they've introduced the concept of them now on the TV universe, or TV series.
Damn. So that's cool that this is happening. It's coming back on September 29th on ABC. I still haven't seen any of the episodes from the previous 2 seasons. I don't know. I guess like I haven't really gotten into beyond Daredevil, like a television series based on a comic book property besides The Walking Dead. You know, like superheroes in particular.
Yeah. Just so people know, the Secret Warriors have consisted of, well, Nick Fury leading the team, but of course for the TV series they're using Coulson. Quake, who is Skye in the TV series. Her real identity as Daisy Johnson was confirmed in Season 2. Stonewall, who has enhanced strength and is the son of Absorbing Man. Slingshot, who is Yo-Yo Rodriguez, who has enhanced speed. Manifold, Eden Feezy, which was a mutant universal shapeshifter. And the Druid, Sebastian Druid, a mystic and son of Dr. Druid. And there's also been the deceased members Hellfire and Phobos as well, who was the demigod, the god of fear and son of Ares.
Huh. So I guess they're like they're not like I guess a prominent, one of the mainstays in Marvel, I guess, because they sound like something like how the Guardians of the Galaxy were.
Kind of, yeah.
Well, they weren't mainstream Marvel. They were more like,
one of the side things, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, given their name, the Secret Warriors, they operated in secret, essentially.
Mm-hmm. They're all big fans of Ultimate Warrior. Forever! They come out with his music.
But yeah, I think it's cool that they're doing this for Season 3, and this should be really cool to see more superpowered individuals on the show moving forward.
Sweet.
Yeah. And that, folks, is going to do it for our news this week. And now we're going to move into our topic of the week. I was waiting for that, actually. And don't really have an actual topic for this week. Instead, I'm going to be lazy, and we're going to move in our other segment into this segment. And that's our Movies of July. That's right, that time of the month where we go over what movies are coming out, and by the time this show goes up, some of these movies will be out and in theaters. So, without further ado, let us kick it off with the first of the month, where we have Faith of Our Fathers, Magic Mike XXL, and Terminus Genocides, however you want to pronounce that. On the 3rd, we have Amy. On the 10th, we have The Gallows, Minions, and Self/Less. Then on the 17th, we have AntMan. I'm going to butcher this so badly. Bajrangi. There will be a picture up on the screen, okay? That's it. We also have Mr. Holmes and Trainwreck, which I just did for that last name. And also the other name of this podcast from time to time, Trainwreck. Moving on to the 23rd, we have Smosh, the movie. On the 24th, we have Paper Towns, Pixels, and Southpaw. On the 29th, we have Vacation. And on the 31st, we have another name I'm going to butcher. Karashi C. Lahore. And Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. So, those are the movies of July. Of course, the biggest one that stands out, AntMan.
Magic Mike, Double XL, with Channing Tatum and big sexy Kevin Nash.
You know, the theater, either on the 1st or the 30th of June, just seeing the lineups, that's going to be interesting to see who's there for Magic Mike and who's there for Terminator.
Yeah. I want to see Terminator and Ant-Man. Those would be like the movies out of this month that I really want to check out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ant-Man by far is up there for me. I'm essentially checking every day now to see if tickets are on sale for the premiere. Other than that, I'm slightly interested in Terminator Genesis. It's not something It's not something I'm going to be like looking up tickets for or anything like that.
Look up tickets. Look them up. Get it. Right now, get the tickets. Get to the chopper. Get to the theater.
The Minions movie I'm slightly interested in.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer so many times now from going to see Jurassic World. It looks like a good, fun movie, but it doesn't look like something I'll see in theaters.
Banana.
Kill the dinosaur. That was funny.
I am essentially interested in Mr. Holmes, which is the Sherlock Holmes movie starring Ian McKellen as an older Sherlock. I think that sounds really interesting.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. So that one I'm, interested in. It's a different take on Sherlock Holmes, which is always cool, and it stars Ian McKellen, so, you can never go wrong there. Other than that, I am interested in Pixels. It does look like a fun video game type movie.
Oh, that's the Adam Sandler movie, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm cautiously optimistic about it, because it has Adam Sandler and Kevin James playing the fucking president of the United States into it. However, it also does have Peter Dinklage in the movie, so...
Oh, okay, so he's got some credibility.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
I think the last movie that I saw that he did was Grown Ups 2, I think.
Oh, dear God, I feel sorry for you.
Oh, man. I think I saw Grown Ups 1 in the theater, and I was like, what? Why did I do this? Why did I do this to myself?
I am interested in Mission Impossible. The last one was a really fun movie, and I'll see this one again, if only for the fact that Simon Pegg is back into it.
And him, hanging out the side of the plane.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know why Tom Cruise did. Tom Cruise is freaking crazy.
Mm-hmm. And I am very much looking forward to seeing Vacation. I love the original National Lampoon's Vacation, so this one has me excited. After seeing the first trailer, I really want to see this movie now. Just because it pays so much homage to the original, but they're trying to do their own thing at the same time.
Yeah, I did see the trailer for this one. I was kind of confused, though. I thought this was I know this is a reimagining of Vacation, but they do have Chevy Chase in it, if I'm not mistaken, that I saw in the trailer. And but then was this related to that other movie, We're the Millers or some shit? Or
No.
Because they look like they look like the same movie to me. I was confused. I was like,
Nope.
ain't these the same people? What?
No, it's tied into like National Lampoon's Vacation and Vegas Vacation,
Okay,
Christmas
okay.
Vacation. Those movies. It's in the same universe. Like the Chevy Chase's kid, his son in the original movies. He's the father in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's the same guy. I love his little thing in the trailer where he's talking to his family like, we're going to relive like my vacation from when I was younger. And the kids are like, but I've never even seen the original never even heard of the original Vacation. And he's like, doesn't matter. The new Vacation is going to stand all on its own. So I love that, how they're doing it. And it looks good. It looks like a fun, entertaining, R-rated movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a funny movie.
hmm So yeah, there we go. That is the movies of July. Some entertaining stuff on the way to watch. Especially Ant-Man, because Ant-Man's going to rule. Go see Ant-Man. Go see it twice. 3 times. I'll probably end up seeing it 5 times.
Probably. Five time. Ant-Man movie champion.
And it was actually said today that there will be 2 post-credit scenes for Ant-Man.
Oh, God damn it. They're gonna make you wait again.
One of which I'm assuming is just going to be one of those like humorous throwaway scenes as per usual. But the other one, Kevin Feige has confirmed that it's going to be a preview of their next big thing, which is essentially Civil War. So we're going to see a little taste of that. Maybe our first little glimpse of Spider-Man?
Maybe so. I'm guessing that's what it would be. It's the next big thing. Unless it's Brock Lesnar. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And this is the next big thing. Brock Lesnar. You hear his music hit. He fucking F5s Spider-Man. I'd kill to see that. Oh, man.
No, even better, he walks out in a Spider-Man uniform.
Oh, yeah, he is the next Spider-Man. They tricked us this whole time. It isn't that little kid. It's really Brock Lesnar. Oh, man.
Could you imagine Brock Lesnar as Venom, though?
I could. I could. That's actually a pretty badass idea, to be honest. I'm surprised he hasn't been in any films with, his look, like his size and his look. Like, he hasn't been in any comic book movies. Maybe he just doesn't care.
Probably not.
He's just a farm boy. He just wants to, work on his crops on his farm and be with his kids. That's what I've heard about him, that he's just like a very simple person, like, which is cool.
Yeah.
He does his own thing.
Yep. All right, so that pretty much does it for our movies of July, unless you want to say anything else about any of these movies.
Nothing really. I think we pretty much got it covered. The only thing I want to say is I'm so pissed that they spoiled that twist in Terminator Genesis in the damn trailer. I'm so pissed about that.
Yeah, but it's a Terminator movie. They tend to do that every single time. That's like their thing at this point. They want to spoil the movie in their trailers. Even Terminator 2 did that.
I don't remember that trailer. That was a long time ago. I don't even remember seeing the trailer for that.
I don't either, but, just from other sites talking about it, yeah. That was way before me being interested in Terminator. So, that essentially brings us to the end of another episode. We have no questions and comments, so please leave us questions and comments down below, folks, and we will answer them. And Izzy, thank you for joining me on your first episode of Static Screen.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's fun.
So, why don't you take us away?
So, I just kind of got distracted by this meme on Twitter of McMahon going, "You're fired." But, yeah, so thanks, guys, for checking out the Static Screen podcast this week. It was fun to be on here and chat with Lord X. Let us know in the comment section down below what movies you're looking forward to in the month of July. What do you guys think of the new casting choice for Spider-Man? some of the new information we have surrounding Infinity War and some of the other Marvel properties on TV, like the next season of Shield. Let us know what you think about Batfleck starring in his own Batman film. I personally think it would be pretty cool, but for myself, he is Lord X. I am Izzy. Thanks for checking this show out, and change the channel, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what we say in this one. I know the other one we say we're glitching out. We need something for this. Bye. You're breaking up.
Goodbye, everybody.